Hey guys, and welcome back to another Solo Leveling Rise video. My name is DFree, and we have the official announcement of the global launch release date. And I want to say this is really cool because this is just a couple of weeks away. So be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're going to be doing a ton of coverage on Solo Leveling Rise. It's actually my favorite game to play right now. So we're going to be doing, and also the videos that I've done, we're going to be trying to improve those as well and get better at producing content for this game. But regardless, make sure you're subscribing. All right, so D20 confirmed global release on May 8th. The news everyone has been waiting for. Thank you for your tremendous support. The global release is just around the corner. Pre-register now before the official launch and start leveling up with abundant rewards. They also linked the pre-registration down below. So the release date for global is May 8th. Now, I want to also kind of point out a few other things here when it pertains to this. They also, just before this, announced that the game has already gone over 12 million pre-registrations. That's really, really cool. Considering the pre-registration period also, I mean, the game was talked about for years and years, but you know, the pre-registration's only been up for a couple of months. So they are blowing it out of the water, in my opinion. Global pre-registration has reached 12 million. Pre-registration is ending soon, so hurry up. Pre-register now to receive various rewards, including Sung Jinu's Chic, I think is how you say that, black suit costume, gold, and legendary artifact sets. So let's see what they have here, just to kind of show you a look at this, and I'll answer a couple of common questions people have as it pertains to this game. So here's a look at the artifacts and all that stuff. This is how things look. So the game, for the record, you can download it now, I believe, don't quote me, I believe you can download, but you can't play. Maybe it's just you download the launcher and then you'll be able to download the game when it officially goes up worldwide. So if you've been playing like me for the last few weeks through using, well, you know, okay, so like there's a couple different ways to do it. Some of them require VPN, some don't. To play the game, typically you don't need a VPN, or maybe you needed an APK from like QApp or something like that. The point is it released in Thailand and Canada. Canada did not get it on iOS. Thailand did. So if you're on iOS, you had to jump through some hoops a little bit. But anyway, if you've been playing like me, there is no, I just want to say this, there's no official confirmation that I have seen that says we are going to get pre-registration rewards. However, it just makes the most sense. When the game comes out worldwide, they're just going to drop them into everyone's boxes. You know what I've seen from gacha games? They try to act like pre-registration rewards are only for people that pre-register with certain emails or whatever it is, right? But when it comes out, everybody gets the game, or excuse me, everyone gets the rewards, whether it's a new account, reroll, whether they pre-registered or not, they just drop it in everyone's inbox because it's probably just 10 times easier to do that. So that's what I'm expecting to happen. So if you ask me if we're going to get the rewards, I would say yes, also because it just doesn't make sense to, I don't know, punish the people that have been playing, even if you're not like me and you're playing where you're not really technically supposed to be. But what about the people in Thailand and Canada, literally, that maybe pre-registered for like a couple of days and then got it, right? That's how the timetable was, right? So anyway, so it's available in certain regions. It will be out worldwide. So they did do a couple of smaller things that I can tell were to gear up for the global launch. So when we boot over to the game, there are some minor things that have kind of taken place here. So in terms of global launch, I don't really know if we'll get another banner before then, but they do have Beast or Silvermane Baekhyunho on. Choi Jongin was up until yesterday, and his banner was basically replaced. They overlap for about 24 hours, but banner was basically overlapped or replaced by this, excuse me. And I am assuming that, what is it, 20 days actually? Is it 20 days from now? Hold on. It's 20 days literally, huh? I think they said D20. So yeah, just about 20 days. Okay. So anyway, I guess this banner will be gone for global launch, and what they'll do is they'll drop Chaheen right then and there. That's what I'm expecting. They could drop Alicia. I don't know if they'll be together. I don't know what their plan is, but regardless, in about 20 days, this banner will be gone. The global launch will start. And then as it pertains to these characters, if we see Choi here, then we can see confirmation that, okay, so no, I don't know what they're doing with these characters, because he's not in here, Choi's not in here. Maybe they will both be in there eventually. They didn't get ported over here either. So if you're missing characters, like you are now, Choi and Beast and Yunho, I don't know what the plan is. Maybe with, obviously because it's a first for everything. Maybe with Chaheen, they'll put them in the banner pool, things like that, so they're available to be summoned. The way that this game's gacha works, though, you can either get extremely lucky with the summon and just kind of get the character initially, or have to wait for the second round. due to the way that the pity works in this game. So I'll kind of have to talk about that a little bit more in the future. They also did do some other minor things, like change the way the UI is looking in certain areas. Like, for example, extremely minor. I'm pretty sure crafting and fusion were craft and fuse, like minor things like that. This little news thing over here was not here in the top corner. The activity funds page has changed visually. It doesn't look anything like it used to. It doesn't say like what you're getting for your next, level that you're hitting, and then the reward you would get for that. You now have to come in here to check that. Which is cool because I didn't actually realize that as you level up hunters, you get better rewards overall. I didn't realize that part of it. I thought it was just Janu. So there's that. But there's also other minor, UI based changes that they've done throughout the game, whether it looks visually, changing terminology, things like that, that are obviously geared towards global launch. So global launch, once again, is going to be on May 8th, and you guys have been able to play by now. And last thing I'll kind of say is, if you're wondering about global launch and how it'll be handled for you versus people that have been playing all along, like myself, the way it's being handled is, we are keeping our accounts, by the way. We're not, if you've been playing this long, you're not losing your account. It's not being reset when the game comes out worldwide. So like there was like some people were, and there's one person in particular, they know who they are. They've since been muted on my channel, so I won't see them reply anymore. But they were like super adamant about trying to call this some sort of beta or whatever. It doesn't really matter because beta to me implies test. This is a test period. Sure, it's an early access, but the point is that typically with a beta, you would lose access to it and then get reset. That's not what's happening. So there is a weird thing where, there are leaderboards and game modes in this game that have ranking systems. And the way that it works is basically there are sub-servers. So if you've been playing for a while, you're going to get ported into a sub-server with players that started around you. If you start with global launch, you get the point. So the way that I know it works on a different game is this is a different game. Every 10,000 players, it creates a new sub-server, and all those 10,000 players are in there until it fills up, and then another sub-server is created. I don't know how this game handles that exact same system, but they have that same system. Whether it's 500 players, 1,000 players, 20,000, I don't know. But the point is that when players are added to the game and start playing the game in the future, you are going to be in sub-servers with those players around the same time as you, basically. So you won't see me on the leaderboards as far as I can tell. Now, it does say overall rewards, and overall implies the entire player base. I don't think that you will have to compete with players, overall, because they do have groups. They also put us into groups, which is not exactly the same thing, but they put us into groups, and then they also have the overall. So I'm not really sure exactly about that. But the point is that I'm pretty sure that you won't be competing against me or other players like me that have been playing this whole time. So we'll see ultimately how things all shake out. At the end of the day, though, it's awesome that the game is coming out. It seems to have gotten immense support. The pre-registration rewards, I didn't cover this enough. I thought I meant to cover it a little bit more. The pre-registration rewards are kind of iffy to me. All this stuff's cool. I don't mind it. 100,000 gold, you're going to blow through that in a second. You're blowing through that in a second. The mana power crystals are kind of whatever. The suit is the best thing here because I'm not sure what the heck is going on with the artifact set. So the artifact set, for the record, if it is the one that's in the image, is an interesting set. I mean, like, it's the type of set that's like super generic. It's not bad. It's generic. You put it on pretty much any hunter if you want to. I'll tell you though, starting the game, it'll be a good set to have because it takes a while to get to a point where you can farm legendary artifacts. It's this set, as I have it in some pieces, but like, I'm not really sure what the primaries are, what the secondary stats. Is it going to be randomized or like, how is that looking? I don't really know what the equipment score will be, basically. So that's always my weird thing about these games with the artifact sets, is how are they going to handle that, right? So I hear some legendary variations of it too. So we'll see what happens ultimately. As you see, the stats are entirely different, right? So we'll see what happens. But to me, it just kind of depends. And if you're getting it, for the record, if you watch this video in the future, you probably want attack. You probably want attack or damage increase or defense penetration or critical hit rate or damage to be on the primary stats of these weapons as opposed to some other things. However, I'll cover this more in a future video, but just to let you know, characters don't all scale off of the same thing. If you're new to the game, you're first tuning in, I don't love this set, don't copy this set. Anyway, if you're just tuning in, they have different skills that scale off of different things. Like he scales off of his attack, He scales off his attack, but she's going to scale off her HP. And then we have characters that will scale off their defensive stat, like Dong Su here. And it just kind of goes. So that also determines what you want to have on the characters. So with global launch, I'll be doing a ton of different videos. I will be actually, honestly, I'll be redoing a lot of my guides. Not because they were bad, because I think that they were good for us playing in the early access, but I think information has changed. And I was, to be completely honest with you, I mentioned this in a previous video, I was always going to redo them anyway. It didn't matter if they were perfect. It didn't matter anything. I was always going to do that again, because as a YouTuber, it allows me to produce a second video for people at a wider audience. Like, it's a no-brainer. Obviously, put yourself in my shoes. Why wouldn't you do it? So I was always going to do it. But one thing I think that's really changed is that the recommendation with these and soul essences is different, because they added a new weapon here that wasn't here. They added this when they added the Baekhyunho. So that's kind of interesting. All right, guys. This has been a ton of fun to do. It's been a ton of fun to cover the game. Be sure to subscribe, hit that thumbs up if you are new, and I will see you all in the next one.